Hello, 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 and welcome to Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So sorry that I am tardy, my friends. So sorry. So, as you know, Miss Hope's Reading Hour is in preparation for our Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. I had to sneeze. Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. So, in preparation for that, doing a whole lot of stuff, and unfortunately had a few technical difficulties and could not get in on time. So I was like, okay, let's push it back a half hour. And then technical difficulties with pushing it back a half an hour. So, but we are here. Happy wonderful Wednesday, friends. So glad that you are all here today. Today will be another abbreviated, shorter broadcast of Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So we will read one book and then we will finish Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. We will finish it today. We are on the last chapter. We will finish it. Now, as I spoke of before, the Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. People are excited about it. They're like, oh, this is the greatest idea ever. And we have some guest readers, but we need some more, friends. So if you have children's books at home, okay? If you have children's books at school, teachers, if you take a little break, maybe you could read a little story for us. Also, it doesn't just have to be in Philadelphia. I want people all over the country, all over the world, okay, to come in and read for the Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise-A-Thon, okay? We are raising money for West Philadelphia Action for Early Learning, raising money for Ronald McDonald House Charities, and for Heifer International. So, we need for you all to come on and be guest readers and to tune in and to go to the GoFundMe and donate, okay? So none of the proceeds from the Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise-A-Thon, none of those funds are coming to Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Of course, Miss Hope's Reading Hour needs donations, okay? But I want to help these worthy causes because even though the pandemic is going on, people are still quarantining and things, with Action for Early Learning, there are still young children who are not in school yet, who need help with early childhood education, parents who need to know what to do for those children until they make it to preschool, until they make it to kindergarten, and they need books in their homes. Do you know that there are a lot of children who do not have any books in their home? That's part of the reason why I started Miss Hope's Reading Hour, because I personally knew of some children where when I was younger, I remember having the golden books with the little golden spine on the books. I remember having nursery rhyme books and the book of Mother Goose tales and things like that. I remember having books in my house, but there are some children here in the United States and all over the world that they do not get to have books in their homes. So that's why I created Miss Hope's Reading Hour, so that they could experience these wonderful books on this platform, okay? And that's what West Philadelphia Action for Early Learning does for parents and children. Also, Ronald McDonald House Charities, just because people are quarantining doesn't mean that there are not still children with illnesses where they need to be in the hospital for a long time, and families that want to be with their children. And maybe the hospital in their neighborhood or in their state cannot take care of the issues that the child is going through health wise. So they'll come here to Philadelphia, places like the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia or St. Christopher's Hospital. They will come here, or they'll go to Delaware to DuPont Children's Hospital. They will go to different hospitals around the country. And there are even some children from different parts of the world who come here. And in different parts of the world, they go to other parts of the world where there are fabulous children's hospitals because they can't get the care that they need where they live. So that's the reason why they come to Philadelphia or other different places. And there are Ronald McDonald houses, just like there are two here. There's one in North Philadelphia and there's one in West Philadelphia here in Philadelphia. And they house parents so that, and they sometimes house the whole family so that the child can get the care that they need and have their family near and not have to be in a strange place all by themselves. And then parents don't have to try to spend all of this money on hotels and finding places to stay so they can be close to their child. And Heifer International, which is number 3, the one that we're raising money for, they provide farm equipment and livestock to families in different parts of the world so that they can have self-sustaining businesses for themselves. Because in many parts of the world, like here in the United States, how many children, they just go to school and they get to go to school from kindergarten to 12th grade. There are some children in the world who are not able to do that. It's a decision between, do I work to help my family make money so that we can live and be healthy as possible? Or do I get to go to school? And many times they have to make the choice to work with their parents. Or sometimes if their parents are sick as well, the children have to work to make sure that the family stays healthy and has money and a way to sustain itself. And Heifer International helps families with that by supplying them with livestock that can make income for the family, where they have goats who make milk, and they have sheep that make milk, and then they can shear the sheep and sell the wool, or chickens where they can sell the eggs, things like that, and providing farm equipment for some of those families as well. I personally get mail from them and get the catalogs, and sometimes for Christmas, that is something that you can give to them. You gift a family chickens, or you gift them a goat or two, so that the family can have a self-sustaining way to take care of themselves and their children. And also their children will not have to work and they can go to school. So that is the reason why I want to donate to those 3 organizations. And I invite you to be a part of that and to donate. You can donate even now if you go on the Miss Hope's Reading Hour page. On Instagram, you go to the Miss Hope's Reading Hour group on Facebook, or go to my personal group, which is Hope So Crafty, all one word, McDowell. And you will see the links there to be able to donate and to become a guest reader. Think about it this way. You are providing a service when you come on as a guest reader. I know I'm providing a service. You are providing a service when you come on as a guest reader, to give children the wonderful world of books and literacy, where there are many children who may not have books or not many books in their home. That is one of the main reasons why I started Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So please do sign up to be a guest reader, or let me know when you sign up that you want to record. I got a recording from Miss Kate. Thank you so much, Miss Kate. I got a recording from one of my former students, and she did so good, and I was so proud of her. She's in the 8th grade now. She's about to graduate and go to high school. I can't believe it. And so I'm really, really excited about the videos that we have and the people that are going to come on. And I look forward to looking at that sign up sheet and seeing that there are a whole lot more people who have signed up. Also, just so you know, on Friday, throughout the Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour readathon, it will still be open for people who want to come on and be guest readers. I'll still open it up even on Friday, okay? But I need you to let me know what book you want to read, because, of course, I want to keep everything very appropriate for every child that comes on. So, got to make sure that your book is appropriate. Because I've seen some books that look like they were children's books, but they were not quite children's books. I'll just leave it at that, okay? So let's get to the 2 books that we are going to read today. Just to give the disclaimer, the music that you will hear and the books that we will read today, Miss Hope's Reading Hour does not own the rights to them, but they are here for your reading and listening enjoyment. Miss Hope's Reading Hour does not receive any monetary funds, doesn't receive any funds for the readings of these books, but do know that you can still donate to Miss Hope's Reading Hour library, because every dollar that is donated is used to buy more books to share. Okay, now let us get to the books. The book that we will be reading today, I hit my computer. So first, this is one of the new books that I just bought in the last shipment. So just so you know, Miss Hope is like a #1 donator to the Miss Hope's Reading Hour library. I need some help, people. I need some help, okay? So the book that I picked today is one of the new books from the latest shipment. And I was like, where am I going to read this book? Because I actually hadn't read it. And then I was like, I read it and I said, oh my goodness, this fits so well into what we were trying to do on Friday. So the book is called Miss Rumphius. Miss Rumphius. This book, the story and pictures are by Barbara Cooney, and it was a winner of an American Book Award. I don't see the medallion on there, but it did win an award. Remember, I told you guys, you don't have to wait till you're an adult to win these awards. Here, you don't have to wait. So, Miss Rumphius, pictures and story by Barbara Cooney. And I do believe, we'll find out when we open the book who the publisher is. And of course, y'all, we are at the end, okay, of Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk. Oh, I got water on here. Gladys on the dust jacket. Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. So we're going to find out about everything, I have a feeling, in this last chapter. We're going to find out about the race, about the track meet. We're going to find out about the Frida Kahlo project. We're going to find out about Ma and how she's doing, if Patina actually makes some real friends at Chester Academy. We're going to find out how Momley is doing, because I do believe Momley is supposed to come home from the hospital. So we will get to the end of that. All right. Now, friends, let us get to Miss Rumphius, story and pictures by Barbara Cooney. And this is a Puffin Books book. The Lupine lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The Lupine lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She is my great aunt, and she told me so. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice, who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling masts of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large ship. A large sailing ship, excuse me. Now he worked in the shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships. That's usually the front part of the ship. And carving Indians out of wood to put in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of sailing ships and places across the sea. When he was very busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. Oh, wow, how neat. She got to paint the clouds and things. So she probably turned out to be a pretty good artist, just like her grandfather. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places. And when I grow old, I too will live beside the sea." "That is all very well, little Alice," said Grandfather, "but there is a third thing you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework. And pretty soon, she was grown up. Oh, there's the picture over there. So a bunch of that getting up, brushing your teeth, going to school, doing your homework. After a while, you'll be a grown up. Then my great aunt Alice set out to do the 3 things she had told her grandfather she was going to do. She left home and went to live in another city, far from the sea and salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told her about faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped itself around her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "It is almost like a tropical isle," said Miss Rumphius. "But not quite." That is a beautiful picture. So, Miss Rumphius went to a real tropical island, where the people kept cockatoos and monkeys as pets. She walked on long beaches, picking up beautiful shells. One day she met the Bapa Raja, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come into my house and rest." So Miss Rumphius went in and met Bapa Raja's wife. The Bapa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and cut a slice off the top so that Miss Rumphius could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Bapa Raja gave her a beautiful mother-of-pearl shell on which he painted a bird of paradise with the words, "You will always remain in my heart. You will always remain in mine too," said Miss Rumphius. Oh, don't you wish you were on that island right now? I sure do. My great aunt Miss Alice Rumphius, climbed tall mountains where the snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions playing and kangaroos jumping. And everywhere she made friends she would never forget. Finally, she came to the land of the lotus eaters. And there, getting off a camel, she hurt her back. What a foolish thing to do, said Miss Rumphius. Well, I have certainly seen faraway places. Maybe it is time to find my place by the sea. And it was. And she did. Yeah, camels are pretty tall. You gotta watch how you come down off that. From the porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it cross the heavens and sparkle on the water, and she saw it set in glory in the evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. Miss Rumphius was almost perfectly happy. But still, there is one more thing I have to do, she said. I have to do something to make the world more beautiful. But what? The world is already pretty nice, she thought, looking out over the ocean. Now that is a nice view. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. Flowers she had planted the summer before came up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose-colored. Lupines, said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. I've always loved lupines the best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer so that I could have more flowers next year. But she was not able to. That's unfortunate. After a hard winter, spring came. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better. Now she could take walks again. One afternoon, she started to go up and over the hill, where she had not been in a long time. I don't believe my eyes, she cried when she got to the top. For there, on the other side of the hill, was a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupines. It was the wind, she said as she knelt in delight. It was the wind that brought the seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped. Then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. She hurried home and got out her seed catalogs. She sent off to the best seed house for 5 bushels of lupine seeds. All that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seeds, wandered over fields and headlands, sowing lupines. She scattered seeds along the highways and down the country lanes. She flung handfuls of them around the schoolhouse and back of the church. She tossed them into hollows and along stone walls. Her back didn't hurt her anymore at all. Now some of the people called her that crazy old lady. Oh, now that wasn't very nice. Why should I be crazy? Next spring, there were lupines everywhere. Fields and hillsides were covered with blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. They bloomed along the highways and down the lanes. Bright patches lay around the schoolhouse and back of the church. Down in the hollows and along the stone walls grew beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the third, the most difficult thing of all. Look at all the pretty flowers everywhere. My great aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Make sure. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupines. Now they call her the Lupine Lady. Sometimes my friends stand with me outside her gate, curious to see the old lady who planted the fields of lupines. When she invites us in, they come slowly. They think she is the oldest woman in the world. Often she tells us stories of faraway places. When I grow up, I tell her, I too will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea. That is all very well, little Alice, says my aunt, but there is a third thing you must do. What is that? I ask. You must do something to make the world more beautiful. All right, I say. But I do not know yet what that can be. The end. What a beautiful story. The grandfather telling her, you got to do something to make the world more beautiful. And then her sharing that with her great niece. You can go all over the world. You can do great things, but make sure you do something to make the world more beautiful. And that is part of the reason why I'm doing the Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. Because with Action for Early Learning, with the Ronald McDonald Houses, with lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. With Heifer International. In all of those organizations, they are helping to show children that you can do something to make the world more beautiful. You donating to these organizations can help some child to be healthy, help them to have a love of reading, to want to go out in the world and learn about different cultures, go to faraway places, and allow them to be able to have that experience in school, to know that they can do something to make the world more beautiful too. So please do sign up to be a guest reader for Friday and encourage people to donate to these wonderful organizations that can help to bring up another generation whose mindset is, I need to do something to make the world more beautiful. And you never know what they're going to do. You never know. And I personally want to be here to see it. I want to be here to see it, to see all the wonderful things that can be done when we invest, not just donate. Your donation is an investment into all the wonderful things that these children and their families can do and be. So please sign up to be a guest reader and to donate to the GoFundMe for this event. Now, my friends, let's change the ambiance, because you know where we are. We are at the end. We're going to find out about everything Patina, okay? We're going to find out about everything Patina. So we are in chapter 16. We found out that Momley may be coming home on the day of the meet. And so Skunk, one of their family friends, his nickname, is going to take Maddie and Patina to the track so that she can be in her track meet for her first time running the 4x800 relay. And also we found out that the teacher changed the rules and gave people different things to do for their reports. So if they don't do it, they're not going to get a good grade. So now Patina and Becca don't have to do all the work. TNT got to do something now, okay? So now we are at chapter 16, the last chapter. Let us find out how it all turns out, okay? So we are chapter 16 of Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. Chapter 16, to do nothing but win. I hadn't really thought about the fact that I wasn't going to have a parent at the track meet until the doorbell rang, and it was time to go. Before that, I was just focusing on getting myself together. But now that Skunk had arrived, it hit me that when I looked out in the stands, Momly wouldn't be there. Uncle Tony wouldn't be there either, but Maddie would. And when I opened the door, I found out Cotton surprised me by coming too. Cotton! I thought she was coming home from her cruise the next day, but she showed up a day early. I got so much tea to spill, I said, throwing my arms around her. And instead of us immediately going in about everything, she whispered, "We'll talk later. There's somebody else here to see you." I looked past Cotton, and there was a head full of tight curls poking out the passenger side window, a sly grin on her face. "You ready, Pancake?" "Ma, what are you?" I was surprised. I was so surprised I could barely speak. I mean, she never came to my meets. Not because she didn't want to, but because she was always so drained from the blood cleaning, and Saturday was her only real recuperating day, and she needed to save up her energy for church on Sunday. "Yeah, you ready, Pancake?" Cotton repeated. "Shut up," I said, giving Cotton another hug. Then I ran over to give Ma a kiss on the cheek. Uncle Tony came to the door with Maddie, peered over at me, standing at the passenger side of Skunk's car, my mother's face still out the window. "Bev, what a surprise," he exclaimed. I shot my eyes at him. That goofy look on his face was a dead giveaway that he set this whole thing up. "What?" he said to me. "Oh, sorry. What?" Yeah, like, why are you looking at me like that? What do you mean? His shoulders lifted to his ears. Then he waved me over so he could give me one. With one arm around me, he whispered in my ear, "I hope you've been practicing the running man like I showed you." Then he released me and did a quick 2-second dance that looked like he was being electrocuted. I told him I hadn't been practicing that, how to look ridiculous. And as he walked me and Maddie and Cotton to the car, he assured me that we could work on it some more later that evening when Mama got back. Then Ma told Uncle Tony that even though she had to tell Skunk to turn his music down because ain't nobody trying to go deaf with all that boom, 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 at least his car was clean. "And cleanliness is next to godliness," she plucked at Uncle Tony as he closed the back door after Maddie and me climbed in. Maddie had to sit on the hump between me and Cotton, my duffel bag on my lap. These people, they were my constellation, or however Becca was saying it. The dots all connected. "I know, Bev, I know." Uncle Tony bent down and looked through the passenger side window past Ma over the Skunk in the driver's seat. "You remember what I told you yesterday on the phone?" "Yeah, I got it, Mr. Tony," Skunk said with that same annoyed voice that all of us get around naggy old heads. "The speed limit. Not 1 mile over it." On the way to the park, Ma, who was sipping from a big cup of coffee, and Skunk talked about how Skunk was having a hard time finding a job, while Cotton and Maddie were doing their Maddie for Daddy game. They were also yapping about how nice my hair looked, especially those 3 braids in the back. "She looks so chic, like a throwback Serena Williams," Cotton said, trying to be funny. But Maddie didn't get the joke. and loves Serena Williams. Who doesn't? So she whipped toward me and blurted out, "Yeah, you do look like a throwback Serena, Patty." Skunk and Ma paused their conversation and had a good laugh at that. But I ain't have time for all this jokey joke. I needed to get focused, especially since Ma was going to see me run. The park was teeming with parents and friends, runners and coaches. But I was going to do my best to block out all the noise on the outside and all the noise on the inside. I was here for one reason: to win. And so was Cotton. "You think if I wink at Lou on the track, he'll wink back?" Cotton asked. "What? Are you serious?" "I can't do this right now, Cotton." I said that, but of course, I still did it. "You think Lou is going to be able to see you wink?" I pulled my wheelchair out of Skunk's trunk, unfolded it. Maddie held my duffel bag and looked out at the track. Patty, have you seen these lashes?" "Yeah, I think he'll be able to see me wink." "He won't. Trust me. When you're on the track, the only thing you're looking at are the runners around you and the finish line. I mean, sometimes I can see family, but still. He might not even look up in your direction." I wheeled the chair to the side while Ma balanced herself and slowly slid onto the seat. "Well, even if he don't see it, he'll feel it, and it'll still be good luck," Cotton said low so my mother wouldn't hear. "Then wink at me too." "Patty, please. Maddie already told me you got all the good luck you need," she teased, flicking one of my beaded braids. "And don't forget, if you win, you gotta strut off the track like Mary." Cotton did a few power steps, MJB style. "I got it, Pancake," Ma interjected as I tried to push her. "You get over to your team." "Ma, it's grass and other stuff over there. I'll push you." "Patty, go. We're here to support you, not for you to worry about us. I got Skunk here if I need help. Ain't that right?" "Yeah, I got her, Patty." Skunk hit the alarm on his car. Bloop, bloop. "So give me a hug." Ma spread her arms out. I leaned into her, pressed my lips on her cheek again. She whispered, "Remember, you ain't no junk." She grabbed my hands, and it was like she whispered electricity in me, my insides fluttering in a weird way. I couldn't help but cheese. I couldn't help but stand up straighter, roll my shoulders back like Mom'd always be saying. And if she was here, she would have said it again. To walk like there's nothing on my back, no weight. And today, that's what I felt like. Then, I didn't see this coming. Ma glanced down at my fingers. And then the glance became a stare. "My nails?" "Uh-oh." And I snatched my hands from her with the quickness and tried to get going. Let's go, y'all," I said, scurrying and rallying Cotton and Maddie, taking my bag back from her. And as the three of us headed toward the park, Ma called out to me, "Patina?" No, please, not right now, not today, not here, not before the race." I turned around because if I didn't, it was only going to be worse. "I like your nails." She smiled wide, still rolled her eyes just a little, and wiggled her fingers in the air. I threw my duffel bag over my shoulder and we headed toward all the action, my face feeling like a bright star. "Okay, defenders, here we are, back on the battleground." Coach was starting strong on his wind-up speech, and when he glanced at me, I was sitting on my butt doing butterfly stretches with the rest of the team. "Nice hair, Patty. Different," he said, which of course caused a few giggles, the loudest coming from corny Karan. Whatever. The lineup will be the same as was last week, which means relays are up first. First, We're up first. My mind flashed to last week's meet. Not just the whole second place thing, but also the fact that during the girls 4x800 relay, one team dropped the baton. Yikes. After stretching, we went over to the benches, got our last minute jitters out by adjusting our jerseys and tightening the drawstrings on our shorts. I checked my nails. No chips yet, even after fooling with the wheelchair. Flo Joe perfect. Miss Margot, coach's wife, started handing out Gatorades. Lou's mom, who'd been talking to my mom, was now bopping over with a Tupperware full of orange slices. Hey, everybody, she sang out. She'd been doing the oranges, since me and Lou ran for the Sparks. Then she was holding the container out toward me. Hey, Patty. Her voice only got scary sounding when she was cheering for Lou. Lou told me your auntie was in the hospital. Just talk to your mom about it. You know you can always come see me if you need to. I know you don't live as close anymore, but I'm still Miss Richardson. You and Cotton still my girls. I nodded thanks and waved off the oranges. I can't eat oranges before a race. Too nervous. But at least I wasn't first. The boys 4x800 was. Karan, Mikey, Eric, and Freddie took the track, and the rest of us erupted in cheers. They hurtled toward us They hurtled toward us for a quick talk. Then Freddie headed to the starting line. The other guys stood by the side of the track until their leg was up. I watched closely, my heart kicking as fast as if I were already out there. Freddie stretched his arms over his head, did a few jumps, readying himself. The other runners around him were doing the same. Then, on your mark, get set, bang! They were off. Freddie keeping pace with the pack. No one broke out on the first lap, but on the second, Freddie and the kid from another team started to lead out. Mikey took his position on the starting line as Freddie rounded the final bend of the second lap and was about to take the straightaway. He was still neck and neck with the other kid. I glanced over at Coach, who had one finger in his mouth, gnawing on a nail. The red zone was coming up, the handoff. Now people began shouting at the top of their lungs as Freddie came charging into the handoff zone, and Mikey broke out. We couldn't hear him call stick, but he must have because Mikey threw his hand back and 2 seconds later had the baton. The other teams did it the regular way, sort of, sidestepping and waiting for the runner to hand them the stick before taking off. Our coaches were right. This blind handoff was the game changer. By the time the other second legs got their batons, Mikey had taken the lead, and his handoff to Eric was just as smooth, as was Eric's to Karan too. The other teams didn't stand a chance. Our boys smoked everyone. After we all finished screaming and cheering, I looked down the line at Coach. His finger was out of his mouth, and he was nodding. He caught my eye. Ready? He mouthed. Then he waved me and the other three girls over. Next up, the girls 4x800 relay, the announcer said over the loudspeaker. Y'all ready? Coach this time asking all four of us. Wit behind him, her hands behind her back, had a serious mug on her face. This is rhythm, connection, and timing, just like we practice. She reminded us. This is nothing but the waltz. Be there for each other, Coach added the last word, eye lasering us. We hit the track. The bleachers started stomping and cheering, each section for a different team or a different person. Me, Crystal, Britt Brat, and Deja huddled up. Let's show them how we dance, y'all, Crystal said, fierce. She looked at me and grinned. Leave our legs on the track. Oh, yeah. Wipe the floor with them together, I snarled. Deja was up first. She didn't do any extra stretches, just went out there, looked every other runner up and down, and then took her place in lane 3. She ran her tongue over her teeth like a wolf ready to feast, slapped the baton against her leg a few times, and then got set. And bang! Deja jumped out in front of everyone, zipped from the 3rd lane to the 1st in a matter of seconds. Woo, woo, woo. Come on, Paige. Come on, Paige. Too fast, too fast. Pace yourself, Deja. But Deja didn't slow up. By the time she hit the 2nd lap, she had a pretty big lead on him until the home stretch, when her legs turned to mush. We could literally see her downshifting from the fastest to the slowest. Come on, Deja, come on, we were calling out. Britt Brett already in position for the handoff. As Deja fought her way into the red zone, Britt Brett took off. Deja's face was a grimace. I could almost see her fighting through the cramps, taking one for the team, leaving her legs out there. She pushed through, screaming in pain as she handed the baton to Britt Brett. Deja collapsed, and Coach ran onto the track to help her up. Britt Brett, however, was able to hold on to what was left of the lead. She ran a steady race, her long ballerina legs graceful, which was ironic since she couldn't stop stepping on my toes during practice. Grace. Such grace until the red zone. Stick! Britt Brett shouted. Crystal had already taken off, and she thrust her arm back to receive the baton. Britt Brett reached out to give it to her, except it slipped out of Britt's hand before it had Crystal's fingers around it. Oh, God. The sound of the metal cylinder clanging on the track could be heard all over the house, and groans of people who knew exactly what that sound meant. It seemed like everyone froze, everyone watching it bounce and roll. Really? Nobody froze. Britt Brett scrambled frantically to pick it up, like chasing down a rolling quarter. And once she finally did, Crystal, whose face looked like it was going to literally jump off her face, and who had already run 20 meters, had to backtrack and meet Britt halfway to take the handoff. It was a fumble, and I slammed my hands together. No. This was it. We blew it. I shook my head and huffed, so mad that I could have untied my shoes and flung them into the stands. Forget it. But then Deja started going off. And I do mean off. Go! Deja screamed, snapping me back into the race. She had gotten up. She left her legs on the track. But now she was jumping and screaming. What was I doing? Coach told me no matter what, I couldn't check out. I couldn't leave my team hanging. They needed me. Not just my legs, but my support, my energy. We needed each other. I looked behind me. Ghost and Lou were screaming their heads off. Karan and Aaron and even Mikey were at the edge of the track, punching at the air with their fists, urging Crystal on. Wit was biting her fist, while Coach, come on, stood next to her, arms across his chest, too cool, just watching. Go! I belted out. I caught Britt Brett out of the corner of my eye, covering her face as she came to where we were. I grabbed her, snatched her right up, turned her around, and threw an arm over her shoulder. It's okay. We're still in it. We're still here. We kept screaming, but we'd already lost the lead. There were 4 people in front of us, but Crystal wasn't giving up, and neither would I. As soon as she hit the back stretch on the 2nd lap, I stepped onto the track, rolled my neck, right to left to right, stretched my arms behind me, clenched my hands to work out any shoulder or back kinks. Lane 3, I sized up the other girls who were taking their places beside me. Then I looked over and saw Ghost nodding at me and clapping. Sunny next to him doing the same thing. Lou had one of his arms flexed, making a muscle. He slapped his bicep, then pointed at me. And Coach, still cool, was now looking at me, nodding, like he knew something I ain't know. Or maybe something I actually did know. You are strong enough. Your mother's legs. Patina Jones ain't no junk. I glanced up at the crowd. At first, everyone was a smear of color and sound, except for a few people. Then a few came into focus. Cotton. I couldn't tell if she was winking or not, but she might have been. I could see Maddie, but even more, I could hear her screaming my name as if it was just her and me in a tunnel. And next to her, for the first time in forever, was Ma, her arms raised high in the air, her fingers tickling the sky. I couldn't hear her, but I could see her lips forming a P, pancake. She might have been saying patty, but she had to be saying pancake. To do, just run, and win. Here we go. The other three girls had just made their handoffs when Crystal was pounding into the red zone. I broke out and could tell I was in lockstep with Crystal, in sync. Stick! Stick! She yelled. And I reached my left arm back and grabbed the baton smooth as smooth. From her hand to mine, the energy protected, the power transferred. I opened my stride early to make up for lost time, and it wasn't long before I caught up to the pack, my beads clicking in time with my heartbeat. Thump, thump, click, thump, thump, click. Long ponytail, ooh, 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 come on, bitch, was in lane 2, Baldy in lane 1, Twist in lane 4, Cannon to the right of me, Cannon to the left of me. We all stayed together, coming down the home stretch of the first lap. Now for the second. Time to make my move, open my stride even more. Figured I'd make Long Ponytail, who was shorter than me, work for it. She couldn't hang, and 200 meters into the lap, she rigged and fell back as if her legs locked up on her, and she could pull up, and she had to pull up, or something. Like she gave up. The other two were still with me. Well, actually, Baldy was leading Twists and me by a few steps. And as we came back down I'm excited. I gotta calm down. And as we came down the back stretch and hit the final 200, I felt my legs start to stiffen. No! It was like my muscles were turning into wood or something. No! Come on, Patty. Push, 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 breathe. Thump, thump, click. Come on, Patty, I said out loud. Come on, Patty. I could hear Maddie screeching from the bleachers. Thump, thump, click. Final 100. The pain is nothing. You are strong enough. You got your mother's legs. The three of us were neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder, fighting until the end. The batons in our hands, like broken sword handles. Warriors. The finish line right there. Leave your legs on the track, heart pounding, beads clicking in time with my steps, like a clock ticking in my ears or a time bomb. Come on, Patty. Oh. The end? Is that how you would end it? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh. That is how they ended it. We don't know if she won or not. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to just tell y'all now. After the Unteachables, we got to read the next one in the series because I don't know whether she won. I think she won, but I don't know whether she won. And anywho, oh my goodness. So Jason Reynolds, you're good because now you got us wanting to read the next book. But I promised Miss Brandy that we and those who voted for the Unteachables before that the Unteachables would be the next book. So, we gotta wait to the next one. Oh, does it show in here what the next one is? Let me see. Oh gosh. Okay, so we gotta find out what the next one is in the series. We gotta find out, because now we're gonna have to read it. Okay. Well, my friends, we are at the end of Miss Hope's reading hour. Because I had so much to say to you guys, we did end up it being kind of an hour. So I may do a very short live tomorrow to remind you guys to sign up to be guest readers and to donate to the GoFundMe for the Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise-A-Thon. Okay? Because we need you to be there. All right? For West Philadelphia Action for Early Learning, Ronald McDonald House Cherries, and Heifer International, and to give the gift of books and literacy to children all over who may see this broadcast. Okay? Well, my friends, I'll tell y'all what the book is tomorrow when I come on, because we got to find it. Okay? Well, we are at the end of our wonderful Wednesday on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Hopefully you will have an equally wonderful evening and a thankful Thursday. Find something to be thankful for. And I will see you on Friday, not for Miss Hope's Reading Hour, but for the 24-hour Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. I'm excited. Many people are excited. And on Friday, if you didn't sign up, you will still have an opportunity to come on and read a book. Okay? Until then, my friends, I got a lot to do between now and Friday. Okay? So I will see you next time on Miss Hope's Reading Hour, which will be the 24-hour Read and Raise Read-A-Thon. Until then, until tomorrow when I come in for a little bit, I will see you next time. Bye for now.